this so if you watch the Vera Wild channel, I have started talking about spicy video games over there. Like legit spicy like video games that you are not allowed to stream on Twitch, or you should probably not stream here on YouTube. I've started talking about them because I do play that sort of thing in my spare time because I enjoy it. If you're curious about it, like there's a video talking about my general thoughts on the genre, I guess. Um, this game is not a spicy game. Boy, it's close though. It is the spirit of the spicy game without including actually going over that line into full-on depictions or actual nudity. So we are talking today about Maiden Cops. I played this on stream right here on this channel, and it's fun. It's preposterous, but it's fun. This takes place in a city that seems to be populated, I'd say about 95% by like animal girls and monster girls. There's a couple of guys like as background NPCs, but none of the characters you interact with are guys. They're all animal girls of various types, and you get to choose from the titular Maiden Cops, which are made up of three characters. There is Nina, who is the team leader, who is a bunny girl. There is Priscilla, who is a lizard girl. And Priscilla, no thoughts, head empty. And then there's Miga, a cowgirl who gets very excited by things. and you have to go about the town and try and clean up the streets and all that kind of stuff. Like mechanically, this is basically Final Fight with a reskin. Like I didn't actually even realize how blatant it is until I spent a bit of time playing as Miga, because between the three, you have kind of the classic side scrolling brawler beat 'em up type characters, because Nina, as the bunny girl, is the fast but not particularly strong one. Miga is the slow but very powerful one, and then Priscilla is the all-rounder in-betweeny one. And it was the point at which I realized just how much this is just Final Fight reskinned was when I noticed some of Miga's moves are the same moves that Hagar had in Final Fight. And Hagar was the big, strong, slow one in that. Like, down to the fact that Miga's jump kick is one of those, like, jumps up and kicks both feet and then kind of lands on the ground. It's a drop kick. I'm like, and like, I'm not saying that like they're ripping it off. I think it's on purpose. I think they know exactly what they're doing. But if you like old school brawlers, so Final Fight, obviously massive influence. Streets of Rage, the Ninja Turtles brawlers, Turtles in Time kind of thing. This is very much that. It's not a particularly deep one of those. I finished the game in about 2 hours 15 or so, a full playthrough. Now, there's more to do. I have gone through and played through it with some of the other characters, mainly just to get some of the other achievements and to acquire currency to unlock the stuff that you can unlock, because what you can unlock includes alternate costumes, still images of the characters, which get risque, but not bannable. I don't think. But risque in some instances. But you can also unlock cheats. One of the first ones I unlocked was the ability to just use special moves whenever I wanted and not have the sort of meter you have for your special moves get drained every time I use that. And that was the first one I unlocked. So I'm like, I want to play through this again, but I want to have it go faster without actually bumping it down to an easier difficulty than I had. And I did that. I'm like, oh, that'll work nicely. And so I have played it a little bit beyond playing it through all the way one time to get the unlocks and to have a little fun with it, and to see some of the alternate costumes, which are all fun and ridiculous. And it's a fun, silly game. I think largely if you have some degree of nostalgia for these old style games, because it's not adding a lot to the formula. It's not really elevating the formula, but it's also not trying to. I think it helps that the game is very reasonably priced. I'm pretty sure price on Steam is $10, which feels right for a game that like on a single playthrough lasts not too far beyond 2 hours. I think you can get more than 2 hours of enjoyment out of it. But again, it's kind of that old school thing where, like, once you beat Turtles in Time, how do you get more fun out of it? Well, you try a different difficulty, you try it with a different character, but you just play the same thing over again if you like it enough. And it is that kind of old school approach. But I really do love the pixel art. It's really fun. The hand-drawn art for the, I'm gonna call them cutscenes. They're mostly still images with just a little movement for the cutscenes. I don't like it as much as the pixel art, and I've run into this before with these kinds of games where I feel like there's just a lot more energy and character to the pixel art than there is to the hand-drawn art. I think part of that is movement, because so much of the essence of these characters is in the way that they move. Priscilla, bobbing her head back and forth, and Miga just being like, this sort of lip bitey, kind of thing that she has going on. There's a lot of personality expressed in just their idle animations, whereas the hand-drawn stuff, it's a lot more static, it's a lot more still image, and it feels a little more stilted. That's not actually a problem. I'm kind of complimenting the pixel art by way of insulting the cutscene art, and that's not to say the cutscene art is bad. The cutscenes are, well, they're fine. Let me put it this way. There's an option to not show the cutscenes, and on every subsequent playthrough, I have selected that option. They were fun once. I don't need them again. But it's just a fun time. And if you like cheeky, silly, a little risque, and that kind of playful 90s anime that isn't quite hentai, but clearly knows who it's appealing to, where there's more jiggle than there needed to be on some of those characters, that kind of thing. If that's your jam, or you're nostalgic for that and or the gameplay, I think this is a good time. I think this is fun. And fun was all I expected out of this. I did not expect an especially deep experience. And I didn't get it. That's fine. I wasn't looking for it. I got what I was after with this. I had fun. The stream seemed to have fun when I streamed it. Yeah. For the price that it is, but especially if you can grab it on a sale, then it's absolutely worth it. But even at the price they ask, I think it's reasonably priced for what it is, assuming that you have an enjoyment of the aesthetic and the mechanics. Both are solid. Neither is so good that I would say you don't need to like the other one. Mechanically, it isn't so good that it doesn't even matter if you like the visual presentation that much. Because something like Streets of Rage 4, there is enough going on mechanically with that I would say you don't even need to have a particular amount of nostalgia for old school brawlers. But this is very much an old school brawler. There isn't too much that's been updated or elevated beyond just, some basic things like having a story mode where you aren't stuck with 5 lives. That's it. Which I certainly appreciate, because I would not have beaten it if that was what I had done. But anyways, I had a good time with it. Maiden Cops. Have you played it? Did you watch me play it? Have you played anything else that sounds like what I've described? Whatever your thoughts might be, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Patreon pays the bills, enables me to do this as my living. Even if you can't help me out that way, like, share, subscribe. Those all help. Don't worry too much about it, though. We take a relaxed attitude around here, so you can just come on back next time you need a break. And now to thank my highest supporting patrons: Robin Moore, Goddess Elida, Zubin Lopfula, Welsh Wrestling Geeks, Oliver B., Melissa Pedersen, Movie Turtle, Melinda Walters, Auntie Kate 808, Andre, Becky Sparks, Claire Wright, Tracy Scrabbit, Angry Casperl, Dave Hall, Quite Bearish, Rosalind Bennett, Toku Bluhuvian, Adam RDL Taylor, Pal Barabajagal, Mary Mello, Mira G, Sir Didymus is my favorite. I've never screwed that one up before. Well, if you want to hear me mess up your name, check out the rewards on the Patreon. I'm going to blame you.